huge announcement coming up here, and it's not about spoonies. We won't even tell you. You'll just have to tune in after a word from us.
Yeah, for kid rides.
This special episode is brought to you by GBT Property Management.
Quick reminder that if you need a loan anywhere in the state of Texas, roughneck2realestate.com, roughneck2realestate.com, go there. We'll loan you some money so you can buy some real estate here in the state of Texas. Braxton, what are you working on right now?
I'm excited for this huge announcement.
How long do you think we feather the huge announcement before we make the huge announcement?
I don't know. We give it. I feel like you should have like a dramatic, like, talk about the drop date, and then you talk about the actual event.
Yeah.
And then you talk about the event more.
Yeah. What do you think?
Man, I can't say what I'm thinking.
Is it titties?
It was not. It was not. I was. You're asking our listeners to edge all the way to the end of this to get.
I mean, it could be over the span of 5 minutes.
But I think I don't think burying the lead on this one is. I would just get it out there and then we could talk about it.
I don't think we have anybody watching.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should probably have at least one listener. Pop in. You would think one of our spouses would be
tuned in.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know if that's a good move or not, but
oh God, they're going to be griping right now. They're going to start it off right here in the comment section. Mine, not yours. Braxton,
I'm glad I don't have that problem.
All right, well,
you will one day, buddy.
All right, let's moving on. So how we doing real estate last week, Spoonie? How much money hit the old bank account?
$68,000.
$68,000 last week. Damn, we got any of it left?
No,
it's all gone.
It's all gone.
That's amazing. Amazing how that happens. How much hit your bank account out of that 68?
I guess they got paid back for one deal, and I think about 16 grand.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's good. I like to know that though. And then you got
12.
You got 12.
Y'all got 18.
I got 18.
So someone was
not
catching
me?
up. Well, the company.
That's good. Well, hey, pays to pay. Mm-hmm. Well, what we're working on this week? We got so last week, and we're probably going to do it again on this live. If y'all jump in the comment section and let us know you're here.
Joe's here.
What's up, Joe? We do have a huge announcement coming up.
What's up, Joe?
But this week we're probably gonna. Did you bring your laptop?
I did not.
Okay, well then we're not. But Spoon, did you bring your laptop?
Yeah, I got mine.
Is it in here?
It's in the car.
Oh no.
I didn't bring it because y'all grab it by my laptop. Like,
yeah,
I don't bring it up.
The damn.
It is pretty trash.
Last week, it wasn't. Did we do a special cold calling live last week?
Yep.
Yeah,
we did. And then is it currently set to private?
It is.
That's
you
good.
got an update?
We'll leave it private for now. We don't know what kind of title company we're dealing with. What would you say is going on with that deal? Spoonie locked up a deal on that special live. Just pistol whipped some old guy into taking his low ball offer. That happened. Was that offensive?
No, I don't know that I pistol whipped him. It was pretty easy.
I think it was mostly list price, but
he was pretty mean to him, though.
Look at how cinematic Spoon looks.
So, you gave him a good thrashing, and you got it locked up. What do you think about that deal today? Is it set to close? Is it ready?
No, they're waiting on title work. We confirmed it yesterday.
Oh, so they finally got back to us. Okay.
So Kitty was in the system, but they weren't reporting anything. So I'd sent all that stuff in an email that you called and left on a message, and I haven't got a response from them, but Kitty has. They responded to Kitty after two a verbal and a written.
Good. That's a good one. What about you?
We high rollered a wholesaler yesterday.
Did you?
She responded that email whenever I told her what we did too. She's like, whoa. I mean, because she had sent their bank account wiring. I don't know. I wired at the title, but she was freaking out because she thought I sent the full 90 or whatever it was to their bank account for the EMD.
Yeah,
man, that's
she's
a gangster
move.
move.
We can write you a check back, or is there a way to cancel it? We just wanted the 5 for the earnest money. I'm like, no. It's that title. We're cool.
Yeah. So
let me know when title's clear.
So what Braxton's talking about is we jumped on Investor Lift deal. We found us a deal. Deal down there in Houston. 1 day on market deal. We started negotiating with the homie, and he's kind of wanting to hold out and see what other offers he could get.
It is just listed too.
Like minutes on the market. He's wanting to hold out and see what other offers he could get, and we just big dicked him. We wired the entire purchase amount to title. Just there you go. You ain't got to worry about us, guy. We're waiting on you now. We're just waiting on you.
Free game, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it, why not do it that way? People kept asking, like, why are y'all doing a fund? That's why we're doing a fund. So when a deal that piping hot comes up, we can say, send us the paperwork and sign it and initiate a wire to let them know.
Title's clear. We'll close the same day. We ain't waiting on nothing.
We ain't waiting on nothing. Nothing but whoever draws up y'all's paperwork. That's all we're waiting on. What do you think of that, Spoonie?
That's a good move.
What's
That's
a
a power
strong one?
move.
It was
Power
a power
move.
move. Like, and that deal is going to be, it's going to be amazing.
Nothing checks somebody's gangster like that, because there's no, like, when you're sitting there and you're like, could I try? I've got $10K that I'm going to make, or I'll hold out for 2,000 more. Like that pulls them off center real quick.
Maybe. I don't know. People are weird. They do weird things. I've seen, in this economy, I've seen a lot of weirdness here lately. We made an offer the other day on MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see those responses that Chris was putting in there?
Yeah.
They did not counter. They're like, you offered us a quarter of the property. We're like, dude, the property's not livable. It's currently, like, y'all gutted it, and you're asking like 75 grand for it, and our 20 offer is a real offer. Like, it's a real, like, we'll take this project off your hands. You're obviously in over your head offer. But at least counter us. At least come back and say, no, the least we'll take is 60, or the least we'll take is 50. And instead, the agent got real argumentative. Is that in Cardone?
Always agree. I'm with you. I hear you.
Yeah.
But based off this market, it's priced, accordingly.
Yeah.
There's still equity on the top side. There's still money to be made on this deal if you buy it as is and put in that work.
That's
But
right.
whether that's true or not, that's the pitch you should be given as an agent.
You should know that. Instead, they just went to argue, and we're like, yeah, we're with you. I'm okay with it, right? But ours is a real offer. We just expected a counter. We'll check back in November. That's literally what we told them. We'll just check back with you in November. When you still have this property in November, we'll see if we can't get it for 10. Do you think that's too savage, Spoonie?
No,
What do you think's happening down here? We got a whole construction.
that was a hammer drill.
Can y'all hear this in the deal? So, anyways, Spoonie, what else you got going on in your world?
And we've got hopefully a pad being finished today. If he gets that second one done, the only thing I'm waiting on now is to update his septic drawings on 6227, so that the wonderful HOA we're working with will approve the installation of our 3 mobile homes.
Okay. Spoonie jumped way into some deep water. So there's some projects we're working on. Where's this at?
Granbury, Texas.
Ooh, in Granbury, Texas. We're installing how many mobile homes?
6 total.
6 total. And now we're waiting on a HOA to approve some drawings.
Yes, they require input on the state-approved drawings for the septic and the county-approved ones before they will let us give us the release to put our house on the lot.
Yeah, so we have pads built. We're learning this whole process. It really is.
And-
It really has been kind of painful.
And every HOA is different. Once we get it down, though, it'll be what it is. I mean, that one in Bastrop's going to be east because it's just county. There's nobody to deal with out there. I mean, he's building a pad today. Like that
Yeah.
was the easiest one of all of them.
So we'll just cut them loose and let them go down there and install that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down Thursday to look at the electrical. So
We don't need electrical for them to install a mobile home.
I know. I just want to get ahead of that too. Like
Yeah.
they're already putting the pad on right now. So
Yeah, so we could call them and say, hey, install us a mobile home there. When? Friday? Saturday? When can we have cameras on site watching this mobile home go in?
I'll call both of the movers afterwards. Bill still hadn't got with me. I got to get him in from West Texas. So
What about your deal? You got a flip, hotel, what is it? Is it closing? Is it closed?
Friday.
Closing
Yep.
Friday? Got a HUD on it?
No HUD yet. It's waiting on lender docs, but I think they've got the payoff, everything.
Dude, that's a good
And there's
deal.
the buyer, I think, that pushed up too. So that was like, all right. I believe in it more now.
I like it. So our huge announcement. Last year there was a fire that swept through West Texas. Spoonie, you remember?
I do.
Were you a part of our volunteering?
No.
Too busy. Were you a part of our volunteering?
It's out there.
So, anyways, we went out. This community's completely overlooked. Went out. We had a bunch of furniture and stuff that we were storing. Like, whenever we do evictions or whenever we buy a property, it's got good furniture. We grab that furniture and we store it in case somebody needs it, or in case there's an Airbnb that we buy that needs something. So we had basically a truckload of furniture that we were storing. So when we heard about these fires, we decided we'd go donate that furniture. Got out there, realized a small community probably wasn't going to get a lot of attention or help. So we decided to donate money. Now, we donated $80,000, and then we donated a bunch of time. We went out there, built house pads for
Cleared
mobile
lots
homes.
too was probably a big thing that people would overlook. It's like just cleaning up so they can rebuild.
Yes, we cleaned off lots. I mean, we went out there several weekends in a row and did all this stuff. Anyways, long story short, Spoonie is an expert bookkeeper, so he can tell you, how do you write off any of this fuel that we bought for our equipment, wear and tear on trailers. Say we had a tire go out, or better yet, when I tore my trailer up and we had to hire a welder to fix it. How does that look bookkeeping wise when you're not doing it for a current project that you're working on?
I mean, you can't write it off unless you're taking it to a charity.
Yeah, it was pretty rough on the old bookkeeping because, I mean, we get with the CPAs and we do all this, but it's like it just made it a little hard. Another thing was the only person that we could give the money to, we couldn't give the money directly to the families. We had to give the money to a church, which we believe in the church, and gave it to the church. But the families that we're actually working with on the ground, we have no way to direct those funds. So the people that we met that were out there helping them clean, that we know want to stay and all that, we don't know if they got those funds. We don't know what happened to the money or where it went. I mean, we gave them the list of people we wanted to help, but obviously it's just trust and verify. No, we're not saying they did it or didn't do it or anything. But at that moment, we made a decision that we would apply for a nonprofit and see if we could get it. Braxton, what happened this last week?
Got it. We're official.
Yeah, we got our nonprofit approved. Spoonie, what you think of that?
I think it's amazing.
So we got a nonprofit now. That's good. But are you going to dump money into the nonprofit?
Yeah.
Do you want to self-fund every good thing that we do for the rest of the world always? Like if you make $1 million this year, do you want to give us the full $1 million, or can I get that commitment from you? Or
Yeah, I'm not going to give you the full $1 million.
Because you got to eat and work and reinvest in your own business?
Yes.
What about you, Braxton?
Kind of same deal.
So we achieved public charity status, not a private foundation, which I don't have real good clarification on that, but we're a public charity, which gives us more leeway to get money from the public. So what we wanted to do with this nonprofit is do events here in the Metroplex. So we got with Ryan. He's going to set it up. So, if you're wanting to sponsor or anything like that, I don't know do you have Ryan's email, Sohill?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
This Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan Harper.
You throw it on the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyways, so we're going to put together a real estate event. All of the proceeds from the real estate event. So we're going to, go to, I think we've picked out a venue in Irving. I'm going to pick it up in April. You'll be able to sponsor, you'll be able to do all these things, but it will go to the nonprofit. So it will be, it'll be done through the nonprofit. We're going to do some different stuff there. So we'll take different donations from different people, whether you have private coaching or whatever you have going. We're going to give away things there. There's going to be a silent auction. It's going to be a way different real estate event than the ones that you go to where people just stand up on stage and toot their own horn. It's going to be, what'd you say, what'd you call it, Spoonie?
It's more. This is going to be more P.T. Barnum than a normal event. We want to have fun, and if I can bring a petting zoo, we will. It's going to get weird, and fun.
So we're going to set it up to where, there'll be speakers, there'll be all that, all the same stuff, but there's going to be more panels, more audience interaction. We're going to do cold calling from the stage. We're going to do the things that we want to get a group of people in the room, and we want to have a fucking blast doing real estate. Like, how is it at our office whenever we're all in there fucking around?
It's competition every single day.
And so, is it noisy?
Yes,
Is
loud.
The energy's up, and we're gonna do this. You're going to have a phenomenal time. Now, the event itself will be free to all those that attend, but the alcohol, we're going to sell bracelets so you can get alcohol. That's for the nonprofit. But we're going to need sponsors. Doesn't matter who you are. You can sponsor it. You can sponsor it perfectly, personally, whatever you want to do. And then we're going to do silent auctions and a lot of different things around it. And that's how we're going to raise money and do things for the community. Spending on the backside of that, what do you think if we wrong word. What if in the silent auction they can win dinner with you? Okay? On a pontoon boat.
Ooh. Like the ones down San Antonio, like that one?
Yes. Kind of.
Or a pontoon boat like on Lake Limestone, because that one sounds amazing too.
We're just you and a pontoon boat.
All right.
I think you could sell that. That's a
lot of value.
Got to think of what it's providing. Like, not only are you getting quality time with Spoonie, you're donating to a good cause.
Yeah, and you can ask him anything like, where did these fish sticks we're eating come from?
Yeah, I mean,
Spoon, you like fish sticks?
I do.
And Spoon will say, believe it or not,
Man, that's a great episode of South
these
Park.
fish sticks were having their breakfast this morning.
That's right.
They were like,
But
oh my gosh.
we will be raffling off stuff like that. But we'll be raffling's not the right word. In the silent auction, there'll be fishing trips with Spoon, fishing trips with Braxton, all the different things that we do in our personal time. We're going to incorporate into this. The event's going to go we're going to do it every month from April until, I don't know, about October, maybe September. I don't know. Once it gets into football season, just kind of competing with a different animal. I don't know if I want to go toe-to-toe with the NFL. Do you? Yeah.
No, and I think 7-8 months is a good window.
Yeah, and then it'll shut down, and then we'll bring it back next summer because, we love to do it every month, but we just know that during the holidays, everything slows down. And to be quite honest with you, I don't, during the holiday season, I don't want to be coming up to Dallas doing all that. But maybe October because we can have a Halloween party.
We could always do like one end of year like event dinner or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, but it's going to be good. And going into this economy, guys, I'm going to tell you, like, it is what it is. But there's going to be a ton of opportunity in the next couple of months. And some of the people that we're going to be targeting to come to this event are going to be high net worth individuals. We want them to come out. We want them to come out and support it. We want them to be there. That's going to be our core audience that we're targeting outside of everybody that we already know. Does that make sense, Spoonie?
Absolutely.
We're going to be letting all of our veterinarian friends, all of our dentist friends, all of our current investors that have invested in El Presidente's fund. Spoonie's a hedge fund president, guys, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Braxton's vice president.
I'm waiting on the placard thing to come in for out here. El Presidente.
Did you order it?
No, that's the next step.
Wait first, order second.
Yeah.
Simple
It's going to
Spoon.
take a while.
So
It'll
anyway,
get here.
yeah, he's like,
Well, I think we should talk a little bit more about like what the goal is. Like, what are we doing with the?
okay. So the goal is one, every time I see a tornado or something of that nature,
Hurricane,
floods, anything of that nature, just being that I've been around it a lot. I've been in the oil field. I've seen how it just devastates communities. So we set up our nonprofit to help with housing, to help in the communities we invest in, and to help with disaster relief. So essentially, if we know a family that lost their house to a fire, we helped a family like that probably. Heck, were you even around us when we did that?
That was the first.
2017.
Yeah, that was your first one where you met those folks and
Yes.
moved in a trailer and fixed it up.
We donated a trailer. We've, their house burnt down, just a random occurrence. But anytime you've been around that, that, it's like, I almost feel guilty that I hadn't done more so I could help more. It's like, I would love to be able to stroke a check and help families. The original idea behind the nonprofit, we just didn't make the move then, was when the 7 police officers were killed in downtown Dallas, one of their families called us to buy the house, and we did buy the house. We did buy dilapidated house in Corsicana. It was pretty rough, but I had this idea where, what if we fixed this house up and we raffled it off and we gave the money to the families? Would that be plausible? The problem was, to do a raffle in Texas, you have to have a nonprofit that's been in existence for 3 years, and we couldn't do it. Like, we couldn't get a nonprofit to go along with us. We couldn't get anybody behind it. So, we just couldn't do anything with that property. We ended up just selling it. We did buy it from the family, and he had 6 kids, and they got the money, and, it worked out. We helped them there, but we couldn't help them further. And that kind of just always bothers. I don't know if it bothers is the right word, but you just wish you could have done more. Like, that you got the equipment, you got the skill set, you could have done more. So, at that time we weren't set up to do it. But, when you're also struggling through business and you're not, you're just trying to figure this shit out on your own. You can't. It's like being on a plane. You put your mask on first before you can help somebody else. Same thing. We weren't in a real position to help more. Now we are. We have the nonprofit. When we do recognize a family in need that has a house burnt down or something like that, we will be able to make a move and help them either replace the house or replace the contents or replace something about it. The communities that we invest in, okay, so we won't mention the community, but we know a community that we invest in that they got like 89 model police cars, right? One of the things, the huge running like goals for the nonprofit in my head is to go buy some cop cars. And it's a funny idea, is it not?
No, I think it'd be awesome. Like, they need that.
Definitely
It's
need
funny because we have to do that.
Yes.
Like, it's something you don't think about.
Right.
Like, you're like, man, that's funny that I even have to think about that. But the fact is, the need is there. That community doesn't have the ability to get that.
Right. Well, and it's funny for me because it's just funny. Like, I'd be driving up in a cop car, you know what I mean? Light, siren, the whole deal. It's a funny thing that I think about, but I do know to help them across the board, which would make the community safer, everything else. Parks. They're always like Emory School right now is trying to raise money and has been for like 4 or 5 years to build a playground. It's like, it sucks that we pay so much in property taxes and then they've got to fundraise to build a.
Which one of those costs?
I don't know, but whatever it costs.
It can't be more than $100,000. That's my point. Like, that's with all the rubber and making sure that the kids fall off from 20 foot, they don't die. Like,
but it would be cool to just be able to go do that for a school. When it comes around the holidays, people need help with rent. People lose their job, have layoff. It would be cool to be able to stroke a check for a year's worth of rent for a family that needs it because they lost a husband or lost a father or lost a significant provider. What else?
Or one of the gentlemen that works for us that had an accident and he's in a hospital still with mobility issues, but just be able to pay his rent, make sure he doesn't lose his truck while he's in the hospital.
That's right. And so those sorts of things are core mission. Now, being able to do that and then at the same time not tax ourselves, bookkeeping wise, not tax ourselves from the standpoint of whatever. So like any education or anything we do moving forward that's educational or anything like that's going to happen through the nonprofit, we never make any money. Do we ever make any money doing education? Mm-hmm. It's a sunk cost every single time. Every single time we do it, we don't make money. So we may as well not make money in the nonprofit. We'll donate our time. We'll donate our energy. We'll get Ryan to help us out with these events. It'll be a fun event, and we will be helping families at scale. Hopefully, in the first year, I don't have really ambitious goals for fundraising and stuff like that. But once we're 3 years into this thing, we will be raffling off houses. We will be doing a lot more things that we can legally do to raise a ton of money to where, and then the disaster relief is really what I want to do.
I think that's exciting because it's fun work that it's hard to measure the return on the value that brings, but it is necessary.
Well, you go in there, we all load up our dump trailers. We go in there, we cut the trees up. I get some exercise in. We get to meet the families, get to meet the local people. And I mean, it's just, I mean, you can make $1 million if you want to make $1 million. Nothing will feel more gratifying than giving a family a home after they lose it in a disaster like that.
Well, and I mean, I guess there's a certain amount of satisfaction for us at the back end when we roll in with our foundation trailer and pop the side up, and we've got cases of water,
Yes,
and food and diapers and baby wipes and everything that nobody has in those kind of situations. Because we've all been, to some of us more extent than others, in a situation where we're broke and we don't have those things available. I can't imagine what it's like when somebody's house burns down and there's nothing.
Well, and the speed we can do it with. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean.
Well, yeah, if we see a storm rolling in or something, we can, all right, let's load up.
And we know Greg Abbott ain't going to stop us. This ain't, up north where the governor's like,
we got trailers, we got equipment, we got side-by-sides now.
Yeah, well, true.
Newly repaired.
It's been in the shop for a year, but
it's like we have the resource to roll up and do what's needed.
Yeah, we can hook on and get there. And the biggest thing is we have time freedom to be able to do that. We can be out in the community like that, and be able to give that time and resources to it, and it's going to be exciting. The event will be, the way that you'll be able to support it. We're working on getting everything. Heck, we didn't even set up a bank account yet, but we're working on getting everything set up. So,
Are you thinking just in Texas or kind of anywhere?
I mean, as far as like helping with disaster relief,
Whatever it is.
yeah. I mean, a big enough storm comes close enough, we'll be able to go help with disaster relief. But I think core communities that we invest in areas that we're in already, first, and then as we get more resources, we'll be able to help more people along the way. And I mean, it really is like I can't tell you, like, I mean, Braxton's young, Spoonie's a little bit older, but the things that matter to you in life change over time. Like 20-year-old me wouldn't. I mean, he'd help you do anything in the world, but that wasn't where his goals are. Now, the older I get, the more philanthropy I want to be involved in, period, overall. I want my kids to see it. I want them to be involved. It gives a whole new meaning and purpose to life. It's just more fun. What do you think of Spoon?
Oh, I can tell you for a fact my family is happier right now in an old 1950s farmhouse than they were in the fanciest house we've ever lived in.
Yeah.
Like, things change. And it's not the stuff that you think that matters, like, right? Like, I can't imagine what it's like to lose all of that, but I know, and also know the other side. I've lived out of a duffel bag for a year. How little you need. You have to. You've been out of the field, where you don't really need a whole lot, but the stuff that matters so much, especially when you have kids. So I think the ability to do that and include our families in that is even a better benefit, because it allows them to really be thankful and understand the blessings in their life. Yeah,
and we do that. I mean, like, me and Emery do that every year. We go Christmas shopping for other people. We do the things every year at a small scale, but to do it, at scale and be able to, put these events on, help people learn about real estate investing, help people get connected with the right group of people in the room. You know what I mean? Help people that have deals meet people that need deals. And believe me, as this economy goes, if it stays flat or goes down, there's going to be a ton of money coming out of Wall Street looking for safe havens, and there's going to be opportunity in the real estate space that people might not realize right now. Getting all those people in the same room and having conversations and educating each other, but also doing it for a good cause on the backside, will be really, really good.
I think the other biggest part about this is it's tertiary, even like, you want to use fancy words like quaternary markets that nobody ever thinks about.
Yes.
That's our bread and butter. These are the people we talk to every day. I was driving by some place. Oh, Walnut Springs this week. I'm driving through Walnut Springs. There's thousands of, I bet there was 500 bikers there. There's thousands of people. Everybody in that town was in their yards because they were having a big rattlesnake roundup, cooking out. And I was just driving through the town feeling grateful. Like, man, these are my people. Did
you get out and fight a rattlesnake?
I did not fight a rattlesnake, but you get out, you high five, whatever. But those are the folks that we deal with every day, and we love to be in those neighborhoods. That's the kind of places we came from. Like, I grew up in Joshua, Texas. It had one stoplight. Like, those are the places that are overlooked so much when natural disasters happen.
100%.
Because it's not even flyover country at that point. It is it's not Dallas, Texas. It's not Fort Worth, Texas. It's not Arlington, because when those tragedies hit, that's the nexus where people
there's
show
not
up.
enough there's not enough votes there for the politicians
Right.
to care. So, but did you, when we were out there, did you meet all the other people that were
A lot of them, yeah. Especially that first time we rolled up, kind of got a good scope.
the ministries that were there?
Yeah.
Like when we were there, it was churches from Amarillo, churches from Kansas, churches from it was churches with men that were part of a fellowship that showed up with chainsaws and equipment and everything else, but it was mainly church bodies in that town cleaning up, and us, everybody I talked to, and it was pretty amazing to see. And if you're ever involved in it, I hate to call it addicting, but it would be addicting. It's hard to ignore something like that happens close to home.
Well, I don't think addicting is the right word. It's hard to feel in your life every day the impact that you make, but you can feel it right there when you're changing
Yes.
somebody's life immediately.
Yes, true. So, anyways, that's what we got going on. That's a huge announcement. Market outlook, Spoonie. Has this week? Do you feel like the market's alive or dead right now?
I feel like it's alive.
Live and well. How do you feel?
See, got the meeting for the acreage tomorrow morning, 11 a.m.
That's a good one. That'll be a whole different deal.
They're going to town down there.
They're hitting rebar and they don't know it.
What do you think?
That's the sound. That's the sound of a drill bit slapping rebar.
Is it? Do you think we need to go down there and help these guys out?
No,
They had to break down some tables. Or now it sounds like
if I'm getting on that drill, like I'm getting on it to make
But
money.
either way, can you hear that in there, Sohill?
Oh yeah.
Oh, damn. Well, I don't know how we podcast through this, but
Immersion. Like Avatar.
anyways, the way that I see the market going and turning, probably have to catch up on another podcast, because it's like right now I do believe the market's alive and well. I do believe that, but I think the summer it'll be better. Currently, we're not getting a ton of showings. We got one under contract, selling cash, correct?
That's correct.
Fund property that's selling cash. Getting some showings on some other stuff, but our owner finance stuff has picked way up. Note sale going through this week.
Yep.
So we're selling a note.
Two notes have just been sent off to, money's already in escrow. It's about to close, and the other one is about to as well. So about to have 3 note sales go through.
That's your 3 notes that you're selling. And then we got one.
Yep.
So that's 4 note sales. So note sales are doing phenomenally
and
well.
worth noting also, they have all gotten a lot of action. It wasn't just like I kind of lucked out with a couple of buyers. It was, they got beat up. People getting mad I wasn't getting them stuff fast enough. They're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, so note sales, that's interesting.
And they've been pretty slow, right?
I think people are placing bets on the note sales that there's going to be pain in the marketplace.
I do think it's faster than what it has been.
Well, we
Has been.
were talking about that yesterday, about what's changed to pick up the market in the last couple of months.
Note sales?
No, just in general, in real estate.
Time of year.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
that's exactly it.
It happens every year. May 23rd historically is the peak demand of housing. So right now you're supposed to be getting your inventory that you'll have to sell on May 23rd. May 23rd is when it peaks and it goes down. Our best month historically is always July. So I don't think August eclipsed it last year, but July's always. It's kind of like Black Friday puts you back in the black on the retail side. They're around Thanksgiving. Ours is Black July, because July historically has paid all of our bills for the year. And I hope it continues this year. I don't really know. Interest rates. I was talking to Jacob this morning. Do you know how many notes? What kind of term were you getting on the notes that you had been signing here recently? A 5-year term, 3-year term?
3 is what he said. I was double checking with him on that this morning. I actually called him about the same thing too.
You talking about Nate or?
No, Jacob. Because our newest one that came in was a 5-year term.
Yeah, 5-year term. So the Braxton's Bank gave us a 5-year term, which is phenomenal on that refi. So basically what that says is the rate will readjust in 5 years. Okay. So we had a ton of those that we signed early on that were 5-year that readjusted last year when interest rates were as low as they could be. So our interest rates actually went down, and now they're on an extended 5-year term. But we just had one go up to 9.5% interest. So it went from 6
So
to
it's probably
9.5. Huh?
So it was probably a 3-year term.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely a 3-year term. But that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I mean, and that's if your strategy is rentals, and that happens. What do you do, Spoonie?
What? Say what? I'm not sure. I
If you
understand.
own a rental property
Right.
that was at 6% interest and it goes to 9.5, what do?
Well, you better be cash flowing like at 9.5. Like I don't know what the question is. Like you got to raise the rent. Like there's nothing else to do.
Spoonie, you let Spoonie talk long enough, he'll find it. What are you going to do?
You got to raise the rent. You got to raise the rent, and if that don't work, you got to list it. I mean,
These are both, yes, those
if it
two
ain't
things.
cash flowing, it ain't cash flowing.
But you can raise the rent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it might not work out.
I mean, you might not
Well,
be
that's
able to
what I
do
mean,
it for
yeah.
the
If
next
they don't
immediate
renew
month.
at the new rate, I mean, you might sell it,
maybe, but
it's like,
but even on a mature rental, all right. So let's say that happens on your property in Stephenville, that's currently being, I don't know, like it's being remodeled. Whatever.
Remodeled.
Okay, so we underwrote that at $800. It's now at $1,250. Do you think it will support a 9.5 rate at $1,250 a month rent?
Yes.
I think so too. Do you think so? Because it was originally underwrote at $800. Okay, so now it's getting that. So you don't necessarily have to raise rent, but rent went up over time. Now let's back up. If you did that one owner finance with a wrap, okay, so we have two. We have one in Granbury. Okay, now that rate readjusts. Okay, can you raise their payment? Can you make their rate adjust?
Not if you don't have it in the note.
So what do?
sell the note.
You can sell the note. Yeah, you can. But, I mean, maybe you can go try to refinance the note. Maybe you have an option there to refinance it. Maybe you can call the bank and say, hey, look, I know we've been paying on this 5 years. I still owe 15 years on it. But can you re-am me out to 20? Can we take this thing back out to 20 so you can make some more interest? You can go begging and pleading like that, okay? Or you can just eat it, and there's less cash flow, okay? And there's no rent raise. There's no...
Got a depreciating asset.
You got a depreciating asset. The note value is going down every day. You can't raise the rent, and you get no tax benefits, okay? That's owner finance strategy in a nutshell if you're using wrap mortgages, which I don't know how many people are. So those are some things to look out for. If you went out and you did a whole bunch of owner finance with small community banks and wrapped it like we did, okay, some of those notes might be readjusted. It might be time to look at them. And with what Braxton told you, that the owner finance note marketplace is lit. Is it not?
Paperstack.com.
Yeah. Go to
Get on
Paperstack.
there. Buy some, sell some.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, those are your options. Spoonie, you paying attention to that now? I'm not. I just lucked across it because that email came through, and I was like, wait a second.
Well, I saw that 7 1/4.
7 1/4.
It's not terrible. Not terrible at all.
Plus one over prime every
Dude, it's a strong...
5. That's a nice term.
Dude, I was so happy.
That's my
So
boy
happy.
right there.
That's your boy? Is he going to do Snyder for you?
Oh, he said he'd look at it, but he ain't gotten back to me on that. He had told, I had asked him before about getting outside of Central Texas. He's like,
I wonder if he
didn't
considers
say no.
Hamilton Central Texas.
maybe.
Hamilton, Central Texas.
Especially with that little of debt, probably so.
Yeah.
I mean, that house is strong now. Like, it looks good. I went in there. They got those two different. They got that LVT, that new luxury vinyl tile, not the luxury vinyl plank. It is slick.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still got 6-foot ceilings or whatever, though?
There's 6.5. Like, let's not talk about that part. It's it makes certain people not feel like short kings. It makes me feel like a giant.
I just wonder how y'all walked in there and were like, this is a deal.
I bought it off of his word that it was a deal.
Bought it off of its $25,000 house or whatever it was. It was less than that, wasn't it?
No, it was 30.
Because you bought it for 30, right?
No. No, it was.
I don't know what it was. It was cheap.
Spoonie, I think Braxton might owe Spoonie some lunch over this one, because I walked in, I immediately called Braxton. I called somebody. I was like, what did Spoonie see in this house?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was like, is it worth it? He's like, it's good to go.
It's
And,
good.
and then I get there and there's no foundation. The foundation's literally
I ain't worried about that. That can be fixed.
It did. It's fixed now.
The short ceilings are very hard to fix.
Yeah, there ain't no fixing that. But I think they were dropped. Honestly, I think they were dropped in that front half of the house when they put the AC in.
What did you think? What did you you think? Oh, so you think there's a taller ceiling above them?
Yeah, because if you walk, there's 2 different ceiling heights in that house.
How's that work?
They just brought them down because they didn't have room for the vents.
Ducks.
Oh,
Yeah, they wanted to put the ductwork in. They didn't want to have an exposed duct,
so they just
Which I would have rather had. Cause
I would much rather have.
it-
I'd have put it along a wall.
It looked good. I mean, at the time, they probably didn't think it looked good, but I haven't really looked at the roof run, but that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, oh, they dropped this for the Ducks.
Okay, so what y'all think about Brandon's foundation repairs they did at the house?
Oh, that's
that was something.
So they had
It worked.
They had a house that had an add-on, okay, and so the add-on wasn't the same level as the original house, and the add-on had a bunch of foundation issues. So they went into the add-on, stuck a concrete truck through the window, and brought the foundation, put down steel and everything else, and brought the foundation up to the same level as the original house.
It's like poured over.
Yes, but you could still see on the outside that the walls had moved and settled and all that. So what did he say he did?
Just ripped off all the siding and put up new siding,
Ripped off all the siding,
new windows.
turned the window, put up all new siding, and turned the window, and put some shims in the roof
So it all looks straight.
So it all looks straight.
Man, I have a
What
hard
is it?
time with that. I mean, it's amazing. Like, I still believe it's amazing he did all that work to make it look straight instead of just straightening the house.
You could straighten the house.
I got it. Like,
You had to bust out the foundation and re-pour it.
What is it if it's stupid but it works? It's not stupid.
I mean, there's
it's amazing. Like, I was stoked when I heard all that work he did. He's like, no, I just hung the paneling up and down, so
Yeah.
it like gives you a visual representation of up and down. Like, it's amazing.
But they fixed the foundation. They put a new foundation in. Like,
Just poured it over.
yeah,
I get all that.
through the inside. I just couldn't believe. I was like, well, that's
But it's
fine,
like,
but
it's not like, I mean, well, I just want to know what the long term is, because my question was, he said like in one place it's a 1/2 inch thick, it's 6 inches thick over here. When we originally talked about it, I'm like, did y'all put fiber in the concrete? He's like, what's that? And I'm like, fiberglass? You're gonna want to put that in there because you can't get steel in that 1/2 inch side.
I don't know if you understood what he did.
Maybe I misunderstood it, but
They
I
went in-
asked
they
him a
went in
long
there-
time ago, so I didn't.
No, you got to talk to Furman about what he
Okay.
did. They went in and took out.
If Furman did it, I believe it was done.
Yeah, they went in and took out the bullshit. Like, so all the bullshit, they just busted it up
Oh, I got you.
and took it out, and then they put it back down and fucking re-poured it. So it's, I mean, that part of it's that part of it. You know what I mean? But then the other side of the house, which was fine. I don't know what they did over there, but he had Brenton tunnel under it and
Yeah,
change
but
out a
it's only
shitter
what,
pipe.
like 4 or 5 feet under there. Looked like it's right
He
under
was
that wall.
completely underground. You couldn't see him if you drove up. So
Brenton's 6 foot tall.
yeah.
He tunneled all the way to the bathtub.
That's nice.
So,
Well, what was the deal too? He like couldn't even necessarily dig with the shovel because it's like the angle or whatever you're under the house, so he's just like
It's all
stabbing
good.
at it.
All good till it caves in.
is it?
Oh, he's fine.
No, it's not good when it caves in.
What happens when it caves in?
Nothing. They can't get you out when all that dirt piles on you.
There's no dirt. He's at the bottom of the slab.
I'm talking from the sides.
No,
It's blackland. If you
Oh,
if
yeah,
you get
I
a
didn't know
cave
it
in,
that way.
do what?
Blackland don't work that way.
Yeah, I mean it would have took him 10 minutes to dig it if it wasn't blackland. It was basically chiseled under there. Plus, they do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
People chisel underneath houses. People, not everybody's spoony and hadn't chiseled under a house. If you chisel,
I usually just cut the slab and dig the hole.
Rich people.
yeah,
I mean, you take a concrete saw, you cut the slab,
that's rich
then you
people shit.
drive you some rebar on both sides, retie it all together, and re-pour.
That's the richest thing I've ever heard. Well, anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. I don't know if they're finished with their construction outside. We got different generations coming up,
Hold
and then
up,
we're gonna have
hold
to
up.
skedaddle. What do you got? What do you got?
So I don't remember. I don't think we reacted to this. But speaking of rentals and stuff, I wanted to get y'all's take on this little TikTok.
Is this a hot chick? I like it already. Oh
Yep.
no.
Oh,
This month.
tipping
Go
the
ahead and
landlord?
sign here. It's just going to ask you a couple of questions.
A tip? I'm not tipping my landlord.
So you'll tip a barista who pours overpriced into a cup, but not the guy who's on call 24/7 to make sure you have a safe home.
I'm not tipping you. This isn't a restaurant.
Okay, so you'll tip an extra 25% for somebody to carry you a basket of chicken wings, but you won't tip someone who responds for after-hours emergency calls? Yep. Well, I guess when it's time for your lease renewal, I'm going to make sure gratuity's included in your rent. It's a little tip I learned from Two Guys Take on Real Estate.
What do you think? What do I think of it? I think they're terrible actors.
Yeah, I think that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Spoonie might be able to do it better. Spoonie, you think we could act it out right
Oh,
now?
fuck yeah.
Let's go. Get into character.
I don't remember the script.
You're an elderly black lady that's about to tip me,
Oh.
the rich white landlord.
Why should I tip you? You raised my rent 3 times last year.
That's a terrible elderly black lady voice.
Well, I don't know how to do that.
It's great. It's fine.
He doesn't.
I'm supposed to. I don't have a
His
what?
friends are kind of,
I got you.
So, if you're such an expert,
No,
what's an
y'all
elderly
are
black
acting it
lady
out.
sound
Here,
like? Go.
you be
go
the
for it.
rich white landlord. I'll be the elderly black lady.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm gonna need an extra $10 for showing up.
Fuck you, cracker.
You're stupid. So his heart just exploded in the bag.
Love you, Corey.
That's it. That's the whole bit. That's what it should have been. It'd have got some views then.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but Spoonie, you really should tip your landlord. By the way.
Do you tip your landlord?
No, I just call and complain when the internet don't work. Took them a week to get out there and fix that. They should tip me.
It's so crazy. I've never heard of the concept of tipping the landlord. That's
I feel like
wild.
paying your rent is tipping enough
Yeah.
for me. Like I'm pretty happy that people just pay their rent.
I think they did that to get those 20,000 hearts and 12,000 comments.
Yeah, it went
But-
off.
Talk about how greedy landlords are.
Yeah, there's
wanna
just
tip too?
Braxton. Braxton's a greedy landlord.
They want a tip too.
yeah, that's it. So, anyways, we'll be back. You got any other TikToks you want us to watch?
Maybe not on this one.
Okay,
Oh.
different generations. We'll be back. Are we gonna do it live too? Yeah, we're gonna do them both live.
Always.
Sounds good.
Deuces. Spoonie.
If you go to Roughneck to Real Estate right now, you can be one of over 1,000 people that don't like something I said on the internet. You can find that video there right now on Roughneck to Real Estate at TikTok.